Most people don't realize this, but one simple habit you do every day could be silently affecting your blood sugar more than sugar itself. And if you're over 50, this becomes even more important, because your body doesn't handle food the same way it used to. Dr. Richard here, Mahados, and today I want to clear up one of the most misunderstood questions in nutrition. Are eggs helping your blood sugar or quietly making things worse after 50? Because the answer is not what most people expect. You see, for years, people have been told that eggs are either perfect protein or a cholesterol risk. But when it comes to blood sugar, neither of those explanations tells the full story. Because here's something surprising. Eggs contain almost no carbohydrates. Curious. And that means, in simple biological terms, they should not cause blood sugar spikes. And in controlled research, that's exactly what we see. Eggs alone produce minimal glucose response in most people. In fact, when eggs replace a high-carbohydrate breakfast, like cereal, toast, or pastries, blood sugar levels often improve significantly. So at this point, you might think the story is simple. Eggs are safe. Case closed. But after 50, nothing in metabolism is that simple. Because the real issue is not just what you eat. It's how your body responds to what you eat. And that response begins to change quietly over time. Blood sugar rises slightly after eating, then quickly returns to normal. But when insulin resistance develops, three things begin to happen. First, glucose stays in the bloodstream longer. Second, your pancreas releases more insulin to compensate. And third, over time, your cells respond even less effectively. This creates a cycle that has nothing to do with eggs, and everything to do with metabolic health. Now here's where eggs actually become interesting in a positive way. Because eggs do something most breakfast foods do not. They slow down digestion. When you eat eggs, especially with other foods, your stomach empties more slowly. That means glucose from carbohydrates enters your bloodstream more gradually. Instead of a sharp spike, you get a smoother, more controlled rise. And after 50, that matters more than most people realize. Because aging metabolism becomes less tolerant of sudden glucose fluctuations. But there's a deeper mechanism we need to talk about. Your muscles play a critical role in controlling blood sugar. Muscle tissue absorbs glucose directly from the bloodstream using transport systems called GLUT4. The more muscle mass you have, the more capacity your body has to store sugar safely. But after 50, muscle mass naturally declines unless actively maintained. This condition is called sarcopenia, and even a small reduction in muscle mass can significantly reduce glucose clearance. So now you have a double effect: reduced insulin efficiency and reduced glucose storage capacity. This is why some people notice something confusing. Foods they once tolerated easily now cause fatigue, sleepiness, or higher fasting glucose, not because the food changed, but because the metabolic system processing it has changed. Now let's bring eggs back into the picture. If you replace a high-sugar breakfast with eggs, you remove one of the strongest drivers of glucose spikes. That alone can stabilize blood sugar. But if eggs are added on top of refined carbohydrates, the effect is very different. Because eggs do not cancel sugar. They only slow absorption slightly. And this is where most confusion happens. People assume, I ate eggs, so my breakfast is healthy. But the real question is, what did those eggs replace? That one detail often determines the entire metabolic outcome. And there's another important layer after 50. It involves the liver. As insulin resistance progresses, the liver begins storing more fat. This can lead to a condition called fatty liver, even in people who don't look overweight. When that happens, the liver starts releasing more glucose into the bloodstream, especially overnight. That's why some people wake up with elevated fasting blood sugar, even without eating late. Again, this is not caused by eggs. But overall diet patterns, including breakfast composition, can influence how strongly this system develops over time. Now let's be very clear. Some studies have suggested links between high egg consumption and diabetes risk. But when researchers adjust for lifestyle factors like obesity, inactivity, smoking, and overall diet quality, that association often weakens significantly, meaning eggs are usually not acting alone. They are part of a larger metabolic picture, and major nutritional reviews generally conclude, for most people, eggs do not worsen blood sugar control when eaten as part of a balanced diet. So let's step back and bring everything together. After 50, your body is not just reacting to food. It is interpreting food through a changing metabolic system. So the question is no longer, does this food raise blood sugar? The real question becomes, how does my aging metabolism respond to this food in context? And that changes everything. So where do eggs fit? Eggs work best when they replace refined carbohydrates, support protein intake for muscle maintenance, and are paired with fiber-rich foods like vegetables, because that combination produces a much more stable glucose response than processed, high-carb breakfasts. Same food, completely different outcome. And here is the final insight. Blood sugar stability after 50 is not about avoiding individual foods. It is about maintaining metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch smoothly between burning glucose and burning fat. And that flexibility is supported by regular movement resistance training, sufficient protein intake, reduced refined carbohydrate consumption, and consistent meal structure. Eggs can support that system. But they are not the system itself. So are eggs a hidden danger for blood sugar after 50? No. But misunderstanding how your metabolism changes after 50 absolutely can be. Because once insulin sensitivity declines, even normal foods behave differently. Not because they are dangerous, but because your body's response has changed. And that is the real story most people never get explained clearly. If you found this helpful, I want you to reflect on your own breakfast. Are you supporting your metabolism or unknowingly stressing it every morning? Leave a comment. I read them. And if you want more clear, science-based explanations like this, subscribe to the channel. This is Dr. Richard. I'll see you in the next one.